Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to make pulao rice, and you can also call it meat and rice. So there's no specific name to it, but it's a really traditional kind of recipe, so that's why it's known as pulao rice. This recipe is really simple, really easy, and really convenient. Actually, you can freeze all the rice and meat, and it's a really good dinner, or if you want to take it for lunch. So super easy, super convenient. Now this recipe, I'm using about 2 kg of meat, and I'm taking meat like this. I have goat meat here, fresh goat meat with bones and fat, and I'm using my pressure cooker for this recipe because I just wanted to cook it a little bit quickly. So I use usually for meats always my pressure cooker. So just go ahead and add all your meat in here. If you're cooking for less, obviously you can just cut the recipe into half. So instead of 2 kg of meat, go ahead and add 1 kg of meat. And I'm gonna be just freezing 1 kg and using 1 kg for now. So I add about 3 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste in here. I'm adding some whole black pepper, about around 20 of whole black pepper, and I have some cloves, around 10. So these are the whole spices we're adding right now. I have a bay leaf here, and I am gonna be adding some more spices into it. I have right now here one whole nutmeg and 1 star spice and 2 cardamoms. So go ahead and add that. Now straight into all the spices, ginger, garlic, and meat, we're gonna add our water. I'm adding about 2 liters of water in here. Now remember, my meat is a lot, so that's why I need a lot of water, and also the meat is gonna release some water from it too. So we're gonna cook our meat up until it's all nice and soft, tender from inside. And here I'm adding about 3 teaspoons, sorry, of salt. So these are all the whole spices and the salt and everything we're gonna need for this for now. So we're gonna cook it. Make sure mix it really well, and your meat should look like something like that. That's how I measure the water level, that my meat is kind of a little bit this much in the water. The water should not be too much above the meat. So I'm using my pressure cooker, which gave me in half hour cook all my meat. So if you're using pot, it'll definitely take more than that, but it's super easy and convenient to use pressure cooker. I took about 4 cups of rice. Here I'm using long grain basmati rice. I wash it with warm water, got rid of all of the starch, and soak it from it's been half hour it's soaked. And these are all the spices we're gonna be needing for rice. So yeah, I have salt over here, 1.5 tablespoon of salt. I am using paprika over here, 1 tablespoon of paprika. I have garam masala, which also known as mixed spice, 1 tablespoon. And it's really important to use garam masala, and cumin seeds, 1 tablespoon, and 1 tablespoon red crushed chilies. So these are all the spices you will require for rice. So these are my rice, and now I'm taking a pot. So you will need a pot like this, open kind of pot. It's ideal for cooking rice. And I have about half cup of oil in here. So I'm gonna wait for my oil to heat up a little bit. Once it's done heating, then I'm gonna add half onion in here. So you don't need a lot of onion. I just add 1 small half onion in here. Now we're gonna cook this onion for up until it's nicely golden brown, like dark brown kind of. So put your heat for your onions around on medium high heat, and this is the color you're looking for. So don't burn your onions, make sure they're not burned but they're dark brown, because I personally find it that your color of your rice, that beautiful golden color, is only gonna come when your onions are nicely golden brown, dark brown. Otherwise you won't achieve that beautiful golden color in your rice and your meat. So make sure, it's really important. Once your onions start cooking, then just turn your heat to low. then add only your meat in here. So I'm adding half of my meat and I'm gonna freeze the other half. So right now I'm adding 1 kg meat in here. So only add your meat, do not add the stocking. Just leave the stocking. First add your meat only in here, in your oil and onions. And now go ahead and add all your spices in here as well. Now mix your meat and fry it really well with your spices and oil and your onions for about 10 minutes, up until your meat is like nicely golden, like a roasted kind of color. So go ahead, give it a good amount of time. Make sure if there is a little bit of stocking in there, that dried up. And after, when your meat is ready and it's all nicely golden brown and all evenly brown, then you are gonna go ahead and add your rice into it. So make sure don't add sorry, not rice, your stocking into it. So make sure don't add too much stocking. I'm right now adding half of my stocking and I'm gonna freeze half of it. So once you add your stocking, you will know exactly how much more water it requires. So first go ahead and strain all the water from your rice and add your rice in here. Once you add your rice, then you're gonna have a good idea if it need extra water or the stocking is enough. So in this case, you can clearly see the stocking is not good enough. It's not enough. So I will add some extra water into it for the rice to cook thoroughly. So I measured the water, and about 2 cups of water I extra added in here. These rice don't take that long to cook. So now I'm gonna add my salt, and I am adding about some extra salt because I checked the salt and it wasn't enough for the rice. So when you check the salt, you have to, your stocking should taste a little bit on salty side because the rice has to cook in there. So make sure that it's not like a perfect salt. It should taste like a little bit on salty side. Now I cover it with lid on, and on a high heat I'm gonna cook it for about 15 minutes. Once 15 minutes are done and all the water is disappear from the rice, it just all evaporated, then you can see my rice is cooked but not fully cooked. You can still see the grain in them. So at this stage, turn your heat all the way down to minimum, and just leave it on a really extremely low heat for about 10 more minutes, 10 to 15 more minutes. And it's really important to cook your rice at the end on low heat. If you don't do that, then they won't be as nicely cooked and grainy at the same time, if that makes sense, because all the grains are separated from each other. They're not like mushy or stick, but then at the same time they're really well cooked. So it's been 15 minutes, and as you guys can see, my rice is done. They are really nicely, so I'm trying to get the steam out of my rice, too much steam out of it. And try to use something, a spoon, don't use a wooden spoon, try to use something flat and thin, that won't break your rice too much. So here it is. This is ready. My rice and meat is ready. It's really yummy. It's super delicious, and it's super ideal for if you want to freeze it for dinners, for lunches. So I usually make them, and yeah, there they are. So I hope you guys like my video. If you guys haven't, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment what other recipe you want me to make, and I'll see you guys later in my next video. Bye.